Hello and welcome to our channel. I am Taylor. I'm a prosecutor protector of our system and I'm very excited to see you. Today's video is about Christmas and trauma, why this is such a stressful time for us, who is directly and indirectly affected by these triggers and stress, and also what happened last year to also add on the list of trauma for this Christmas time. Because we will talk about some of our triggers and our experiences, and also I'll mention some things about our eating disorders. If you're triggered by that, then I hope you're not going to watch this video. It is way more important that you're safe and that you don't get triggered by a stupid video. So if you are willing and safe to listen to me, then I'm very excited to go on. So to put it first, it's not only Christmas time or December which is stressful for our system. It's also the last part of November and January, which is very, very traumatic. We just have so much bad memories and stuff connected to this time from last year, and it is really affecting us. Last year during this time we were at a state where our mental health and also body state was kind of the worst it ever was, and our system was controlled by eating disorders, depression, anxiety, borderline, and just a lot of alters suffering very bad under their conditions. And also during that year our family situation kind of got worse in some points, and in some other points we just discovered a lot about our past, kind of, and kind of not, and it was just a mess. We were also not able to go to school anymore. Even though we've just went there for 2 months, we couldn't go on. We had changed to a school where we could do something we are passionate about, and even though all of this was very, very nice, we just couldn't. We were stressed because of the class test, and we had to do a lot of presentations and working in groups and organizing things, which was just a mess with our messy brain. We got lost in DID and amnesia, in dissociation and switching a lot, and we didn't know what was going on, and we couldn't track anything around us anymore. It was very, very messy and was just not very nice. Besides that, we had a lot of trouble sleeping, so we still have trouble sleeping, but it was just another thing adding onto the list, which made us exhausted and drained and just feeling so bad. We had a lot of sleep paralysis and nightmares and panic attacks during night, also during day. It was just not a nice year. As I've already said, we've reached a point in our life that where we kind of didn't thought we could survive. We couldn't care for ourselves anymore. We also didn't bother to be cared about. We felt so lonely and very confused, and we were so sad, and it was just, we had no energy for anything, and that led to us being hospitalized 1 or 2 days after Christmas, and then we've been in hospital in a clinic for 7 months at a time. Even though we were glad that we've got into hospital and that the people there were there to prevent a lot of stuff, it was not a very nice atmosphere, and it was just not a nice experience. They did not really care about our feelings, our memories, or what's going on. They just wanted us to stand up, eat, and go to therapy, or don't go to therapy. It was up to us if we want to go anywhere, even though we were in the closed section, so we couldn't go outside without permission. And also, to get this permission was very hard. We could just go outside with family members, so we felt very lonely because it was quite away from our girlfriend, and there was like no thing where we could write with anyone. We couldn't call anyone. It was just us being somewhere with people we don't know, with doctors who don't care about our feelings, and it was just not a nice time. And all the things that led to us being in hospital and all the things during hospital really affect us now, and that's because they really affected us back then. And it's just a year and it feels like it was just yesterday. So all of the things I've said about last year, they all affected us in different ways. They directly triggered some autism, like Isa, like myself. Old Joey was triggered a lot, Scarlett was triggered a lot, Ray was triggered a lot, and even though they were the ones directly triggered, the things they did and how they handled the situation caused to trigger others indirectly. And also, all DID systems are very complex, and even though we are different personalities, each personality affects the system and the well-being of the system. And in our case, kind of no one of us felt nice at that time. And it was so exhausting and stressing and draining, and it just affected every one of us, every single one. So I go on with our past and current stress factors and triggers. One of them are presents. So buying presents is very stressful and triggering. That's not only because we need to buy Christmas presents, but also because some people in our family have birthday in December. Actually, it are just 4, but for us these 4 are way too much, because some of these 4 people are people we really like and we want to give them a lot, and some others haven't been very nice to us and we kind of don't want to give them anything, but they are in a relationship with people we love and they love them, so we kind of feel the need to also love them no matter what they did to us. Also, we then have to buy Christmas presents, and we have a very large family. Okay, I've messed it up the last 3 times I tried to record it, but I just switched between my and our. It's just because I can't really focus and all words get messed up a little, so I'm sorry if I say my instead of our. So we have our father, his girlfriend, her daughter, my father's sister and her daughter, our sister, our mom's sister, her boyfriend and his 2 children, our mom, our stepdad, his 2 sons, our half-brother, our grandparents, our girlfriend, her parents, her niece, her brother, her sister, and her grandparents. And that are a lot of people and a lot of presents to buy. We don't have a lot of money. We don't work at the moment. We can't work. and we currently don't get money from the state. We don't have a lot of money to buy presents from. Also, shopping is quite hard because of PTSD and triggers outside, switching a lot, depression, fatigue, anxiety, and headaches, and actually we can't really go shopping alone because it's just not safe for us, and sometimes we just need someone to care during the time we're out because something happens and someone switches and this alter doesn't know how to handle the situation and doesn't know where they are, and it's just completely a mess. And because it was like that in the past too, we either spent all our money and had nothing left for us and were very, very devastated about thinking what to buy for whom, because we don't have a lot of strength and concentration to think about presents and what every one of them would like for them individually. And that's why we tried to bake a lot. We did a lot of cookies and cakes and just so much that we were stressed all the time. We were baking kind of non-stop. We had school on the side and we also went dancing, and it was just every free time we spent stressing out about baking and making cakes, decorating the cookies, drawing something, crafting something, and we wanted everything to be perfect. We just want to give everyone the love and effort, and we want them to see how much we put into that present because we don't feel like it's enough. It's also receiving presents that's stressful for us. Receiving presents is stressful because we don't always know how to act when we receive a present. Not because we don't like it or not because it's not what we wanted. It's because we are not really sure how to react, because in the past sometimes when we reacted in some ways it was bad and we don't want to experience bad stuff again, and that's why we have a lot of anxiety receiving something and reacting to that. Also, we don't really think or feel like we deserve the things we get. That's because of past trauma, and it's just all adding up onto our already stressed out selves, that trying to act like you like something. Or for example, Joey, who is a trauma holder, he has a lot of trouble expressing his feelings towards others, and he then panics a lot because he doesn't know how to show his emotions, and then he kind of freaks out completely, and it's just not good for the well-being of our system that's already completely at the loss. Christmas time is mostly a time that people refer to as family time, a time where they can be around their loved ones and everything. But for us, spending time with our family is very two-sided. It's because we know things have changed and things may be not as bad as they were in the past, but there's still the trauma of the past that can't be processed, and it's just very, very difficult. The last major trigger during the season is food. There are two sides in our system regarding food. So there's one side, for example, Isa, Max and I, we all suffer from an eating disorder. We suffer from different eating disorders. It's not that every one of us has the same motivation and way to deal with food, kind of. It's just that we all affect one another and it's not very, very good. But especially during the stressful time of the year, we tend to focus a lot on our food and a way of coping with the stress around us. It's just something that we think we have control over, and for us Christmas is like, we have a stereotype about Christmas. For us Christmas is like eating a lot of bad stuff, and because of that we mostly, or I mostly, cut out of everything related to Christmas. So Christmas cookies, gingerbread, hot chocolate and all of that stuff. And also on anything else I think is bad. Like, it's our way to cope. It's not a good one, and I myself, I'm working on not doing that. I really worked on not giving in to my eating disorder and going back to my bad ways of coping. And I'm very proud of myself, like very self-conscious. And it's not that I don't eat anything at all. I make sure, or we try to make sure that we eat something and that it's enough to get us through the day, and that we don't go to bed hungry or that we starve throughout the day. And I think that's a very big achievement when I think of last year where we went starving for months. So I think it's a very big achievement, but also this is not only because I'm working on that right now. I've worked all this year and I'm still working on getting better and stop harming this body and every other altar. But also there's a good side to food, which is seemingly good but also very triggering. That's because Vivi and Sunny, they both have a very sweet tooth and they love Christmas with all of their heart. They love eating gingerbread, I love eating cookies, and the thing is, when they do that, I am very triggered, and the consequences I take out of that, or the way I talk to them then, or the way my thoughts are processing in our brain is affecting them very badly. They then feel, I make them feel self-conscious, I make them feel like they are feeling my emotions, and then they are very confused and they feel sad and they feel bad for something they actually love and something they actually like. And if they don't eat something, that's because some of us make them not eat it, and they see it like punishment, as if we would say, you're not allowed to eat that, you don't deserve it, kind of. That's because of some trauma from the past, but it's not that we want to punish them, it's just because we can't cope with eating that, and this is all just affecting and making them feel bad, and then Joey is triggered and he feels bad, and it's just very complicated, it's very complex, and it's just very confusing and stressing. And we just really wanted to do a video about this because I wanted to share these thoughts because they really affect me. And now, while talking about it, I don't just see the bad things that I did in the past and the bad things that happened to me some time to time. I've worked on myself a lot, and now talking about it, I can see it. I'm able to, like, I can feel how far I've got, and I'm just very proud. And I just want to say to you that you're not alone with your feelings, you're not alone with your thoughts, and we can get through this Christmas and we can get through this time. And you're not alone, and we love you. Stay safe and see you next.